Getting your Part 107 airspace authorization right is critical for passing the exam and flying safely. Let's break it down. Many Part 107 candidates lose points on airspace questions because the rules seem complex. The core principle is simple. If you plan to fly a drone in controlled airspace that reaches the surface, you need prior FAA authorization. This applies to Class B, C, and D airspace around busy airports, and also to surface area Class E, which is a common exam trap. The key isn't just memorizing class names, but understanding when the rules apply to your specific operation at low altitudes. Sectional charts hold the clues you need. Don't get lost in details for manned aircraft. Focus on what matters for drones. Solid blue lines mark Class B, solid magenta marks Class C, and dashed blue marks Class D. The most critical one to spot is the dashed magenta line, which indicates Class E airspace starting at the surface. Seeing this line means you must stop and get authorization. Mistaking it for other airspace or ignoring it is a frequent error on the Part 107 exam. LAANC, or Low Altitude Authorization and Notification Capability, is your fastest path to approval. It's an automated system that connects you to the FAA through approved service suppliers. For a flight at or below the published grid altitude on a UAS facility map, you can often receive authorization in near real time. This is the modern correct procedure. Old methods, like calling the control tower directly, are no longer the standard Part 107 process for gaining access to controlled airspace for routine operations. UAS facility maps, or UASFMs, are essential for LAANC planning, but they are not an authorization by themselves. The numbers on the map grid show the maximum altitude the FAA can likely approve automatically. A 100 on the grid means a request up to 100 feet AGL will probably process quickly. A 0 grid doesn't always mean you can't fly. It just means a near real-time approval is not available, and you'll need to submit a request for further coordination that requires manual review. What if your flight is above the grid altitude or at a non-LAANC airport? You have other options, but they require more planning. If a LAANC provider supports it, you can submit a request for further coordination above the grid altitude, but it must be done at least 72 hours in advance. For airports not on LAANC, you must use the FAA Drone Zone portal. This is a fully manual process, and the FAA advises submitting requests up to 60 days in advance. Starting October 27, 2026, the FAA is changing how it tests these skills. The Part 107 exam will include some questions with embedded sectional chart images that are not in the printed testing supplement. This means you can't just memorize the figures in the supplement book. Your study method must shift from pure memorization to practical chart reading skills. You need to be able to look at any chart snippet and correctly identify the airspace, its boundaries, and the authorization requirements it implies. Putting these pieces together is the key to passing your exam. The real test mixes airspace, weather, and regulation questions, just like a real flight mission. Don't just memorize the rules, learn to apply them. Visit Open Exam Prep to use our Part 107 practice tests, where you can drill these skills with questions that mirror the real exam format and challenge.